नमस्कार. पुन्हा एकदा आपल्या आवडत्या हरीश दहीफळे एज्युकेशनल यूट्यूब चॅनलमध्ये आपल्या सर्वांचं स्वागत आहे. वेलकम बॅक एव्हरीवन. Today we're diving into something that's absolutely crucial for your fourth standard scholarship exam. We're tackling English Unit 17, which is all about the days of the week and months of the year. And listen, we're not just going to sit here and memorize boring lists, right? We're going to use some really simple, clever tricks from our daily lives to make solving these exam questions a total breeze. Let's get into it.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with spellings and simple questions, move on to counting days, tackle some calendar logic, play with word games and puzzles, and then wrap up with some practice. Grouping it like this just makes everything so much easier to remember. All right, part 1, spellings and simple questions. Let's master those basics. So, let's jump right into a real sample question. This one asks us to pick the correct spelling for a specific month. Take a really close look at the 4 options they give us for October. We've got October, Octombar, Octomber, and finally October. Now, why are they asking this? Because the examiners want to see if you know the exact English spelling, not just how we might say it out loud in passing. You know, the people writing these tests are pretty sneaky. They know that a lot of us naturally slip an M sound in there when we speak, saying something like Octomber, just out of habit. So what do? They put October right there as option 3 to try and trip you up. But don't fall for it. You want to avoid October and definitely avoid October. The standard, totally correct English spelling is October. Always lock in option 4. Moving right along, let's see how they build on these basics. Check out question 9. It asks, which among the options is the English word for Shanivar? I'll give you a second to think about this one. Just picture the calendar hanging up in your house.
Boom! There it is. Shanivar is Saturday. This is a perfect example of how the Marathi calendar words you use every single day translate perfectly to English. You already know Songvar is Monday, Mangalvar is Tuesday, so naturally Shanivar is always going to be Saturday. Making these quick mental connections to your everyday routine, that literally guarantees you won't lose any easy points on translation questions.
Okay, section 2 already, counting days of the months. Check out sample question 2. It simply asks, how many months of the year have 31 days? Now, this pops up all the time. It is a super important concept for the scholarship exam. Sure, you could try to just memorize the list, but let's be real. Under the stress of a test, you might freeze and forget. We need something foolproof. We need a physical trick. Enter the classic knuckle trick. Seriously, this is a lifesaver. Just make a fist. Now, count the months along your knuckles and the dips or gaps between them. The knuckles that stick up, those are your long months with 31 days. The gaps that dip down are the short months with 30 days. And here's the magic. When you run out of knuckles at July, just jump right back to the first knuckle for August. If you count them all up, January, March, May, July, August, October, December, you hit exactly 7 months that have 31 days. Easy, right? So, keeping that super handy knuckle trick fresh in your mind, let's tackle sample question 4. It asks, which of the given months have less than 30 days? Your options are March, July, August, and February. Go ahead, use your fist. Which one is the odd one out? Yep, you guessed it, it's February. When you use the trick, February lands right in a gap, but it's the one big exception to the whole calendar rule. It doesn't have 30 days. It has exactly 28 days, and if it's a leap year, it gets 29. Because it's literally the only month with fewer than 30 days, spotting it in a multiple choice lineup is basically a free point. Moving right into section 3, solving calendar questions. It's time for some calendar logic. What we have here is a recreation of the August 2016 calendar they gave us in the exam instructions. To crush these questions, you really just need to know how to read a basic grid. The top row gives you the days of the week, Monday to Sunday. Below those are the specific dates, and right under that, the special holidays. So scanning across the rows gives you the days, and dropping down the columns shows you the dates and events. It's like a map. Let's put that map reading to the test with question 11. It asks, if Patiti is on the 17th, then Rakshabandhan is on what date? Scan across that grid and see if you can spot Patiti first. See how straightforward that is? You find Pateti, glance up, and yep, it's the 17th. Then you look right next door and there's Rakshabandhan. Look straight up from that and it's crystal clear it falls on the 18th. The calendar just flows logically from left to right day by day. Let's try just one more to lock it in. Question 12 asks, Independence Day falls on, and then there's a blank. So we need to figure out the exact day of the week. Let's fire up that grid logic again.
It really just comes down to following 3 simple steps. Step 1, locate Independence Day and the number 15 on your grid. Step 2, look straight up to the very top of that specific column. And step 3, just read the day written there. It's Monday. It's a purely visual trace, and honestly, if you take your time and do it carefully, you will literally never get this wrong.
All right, section 4, word games and puzzles, unscrambling those shapes. This is the fun part. Take a look at these 2 super distinct puzzles straight from the exam. Over on one side from question 5, there's this star shape completely stuffed with scattered letters. On the other side from question 22, there's a bird shape, also full of jumbled up letters. For these ones, you get to play detective. Your mission? Hunt down the hidden days of the week by unscrambling the mess. Let's crack the star puzzle first. Notice the letters hanging out at the points of the star? We've got an F, R, I, D, A, and Y. When you pull those out and put them in their standard English order, the hidden day just jumps right out at you. It's Friday, option 4. And notice how this completely relies on you having nailed down the spelling of Friday from our very first section. It all connects. Okay, let's pull off the exact same trick for the bird shape in question 22. Pluck out the letters you see printed on the bird's wing and tail. There's a T, H, U, R, S, D, A, and a Y. Line those scattered letters up and they spell out Thursday. Boom, option 2 is your answer. It's actually a really fun little puzzle as long as your spelling foundation is solid. And finally, section 5, practice and our sign-off. Before we go, I want to leave you with a little brain teaser. It's from question 8 of the exam. It says, Rajan is 3 years old. Rajani is 32 months old. Find the difference of age between them in months. Now, at first glance, that looks tricky because you're comparing years to months. The secret? Conversion. You have to convert Rajan's 3 years into months first. Since we know there are 12 months in a year, 3 times 12 is 36 months. Now just compare his 36 months to Rajani's 32 months, and the answer is staring right at you, a difference of exactly 4 months. The golden rule here is to always make sure you are comparing the same units.
आपण हा व्हिडिओ पाहिल्याबद्दल आपले मनपूर्वक धन्यवाद. आपण जर या चॅनलवर नवीन असाल तर चॅनलला लाईक करा, शेअर करा आणि कृपया हरीश दहीफळे एज्युकेशनल यूट्यूब चॅनलला सबस्क्राईब करायला विसरू नका. धन्यवाद.